us, if you dare, on a terrifying journey through cells of madness, haunts of horror and fear. Come with us to this forsaken monument of crumbling stones which echoes the desolate cries of the damned. Descend with us to the forbidden chambers of the ancient pagan gods of wrath, where the devil's men perform the secret rites of the land of the Minotaur. Those who enter the forbidden chamber of the Minotaur must die. The land of the Minotaur. Donald Pleasence as the man of God who defies the dark and sinister powers that curse this land and all who venture into it.
The devil has many faces, and many helpers too.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Peter Cushing as the Red Prince of Evil, who lures young lovers into the deadly embrace of the devil's men.
The old customs remain, and the ancient gods live on.
The old customs remain, and the ancient gods live on.
Bullets cannot stop them. No earthly power can stop them. The land of the Minotaur.
Tourists visiting a Greek archaeological site are being abducted by a strange cult intent on providing their god, the Minotaur, with his sacrifice. Irish priest Father Roche enlists the help of Laurie Gordon and an archaeological student in Milo Kaye, a private detective, to find out what has happened to them in this very strange, weird movie. What is up, guys? So, it being the Halloween season, I wanted to do a horror movie review because I always review Greek mythology movies occasionally or Greek-based movies. And so I found out that there is a horror movie that was filmed in Greece. I'm pretty sure it's filmed in Greece, but it's a Greek horror film. And it tries to be in the line of The Wicker Man and Midsummer that came out recently, and that is called, what you saw in the title, Land of the Minotaur, or The Devil's Men is what is also the alternate title. And I have to tell you guys that it has to be the strangest loose plot film I have ever seen. So much so I didn't know that the plot of the film was that until I read what the film was about. I had to go read. It's like, what is going on? And I had to read that. So the film is on YouTube, first off, if you want to check it out. What drew me in, other than it being a Greek horror film, is that it stars Donald Pleasence, who plays Dr. Loomis in the Halloween films, the original Halloween films. And then you got Peter Cushing as the villain, who went on to be Star Wars. Oh, Star Wars. Sounds like my daughter. My daughter calls Darth Vader Star Wars. Peter Cushing went on to be in Star Wars in 1977. And this film, Land of the Minotaur, came out in 1976. Right before Star Wars and right before Halloween even. So this was Peter Cushing was known more for the Hammer films. I was going to say it was pre-fame mainstream, maybe for those two actors, but Peter Cushing for sure would have been known because he played Dr. Van Helsing and Frankenstein in the Hammer horror films. So which begs the question, why did they volunteer to be in this film? Why did they read this script and say, hey, I want to be a part of that? My only guess is that The Wicker Man that came out in 1973, they thought, hey, that's the new horror trend, is that what we call folk horror now, which is taking you paganism and making them the villain. And that's kind of what this film is. They're saying that the gods of Greece, or at least the Minotaur, which is not even a god, but this cult base its religion on the Minotaur as its god, and they're trying to commit human sacrifices to give to the Minotaur, their god. And of course, the plot of the film continues. And that's the thing about this movie, is that there is no plot. That's why it's kind of hard to really piece together what this film is about, because I can give it this: it's definitely not boring. It is an hour and a half long, and I couldn't believe how fast the film seemed to fly. And I know the reason why. The reason why is not because it's captivating or interesting. It's because every single scene, you're sitting there thinking, what's happening? Who's that? What's going on? So I mentioned that these people get kidnapped and they had names. The people that get kidnapped in the film, you meet maybe for like 2-3 minutes. You see their faces, but for them to actually say anything, that doesn't really ever happen. So you have no interest or invested interest in the rescue of these people. And then they end up getting sacrificed, and they are alive later. Or I think they are. It's like these people look alike. Like, people are sacrificed, or you think they're sacrificed to the Minotaur, but they are being rescued by Donald Pleasence later, because at the end of the film, Donald Pleasence goes in to rescue these people, and I was like, I thought, wasn't he dead already? It's that kind of movie. And in every scene for about an hour, it's like their stories are not connected. It's mind-boggling. It's a mind-boggling script of how it was made, and why Donald Pleasence and Peter Cushing, two big names, especially nowadays, would be in this film, other than, like I said, to jump on the bandwagon of being in a folk horror film and thinking, hey, it's an idea. It's an idea. But oh man, I don't know. Like I said, it's just a film. We'll just say that. It's like, wow. And it's funny, if you watch the trailer for it, it says that this is the scariest film that will be released in 1976. Okay. Yeah. So this is what it says that the reception of the film was. It says that critical response for Land of the Minotaur has been predominantly negative. TV Guide gave the film 1 out of 4 stars, calling it a distinctly silly effort. Horror News found the film enjoyable in spite of its contrived plot, commending its soundtrack and the chemistry between its two leads. Now, I saw the American cut, which is the Land of the Minotaur. Apparently, there's a European cut called The Devil's Men, which adds 10 minutes. The film really did seem choppy. So much so, I was like, am I watching the TV version or something? So I'm not sure, but either way, even a TV cut film would still make sense. And it talks about how they applaud Donald Pleasence and the other dude playing the American guy. Like I said, they don't really give who these people are, except maybe a throwaway line. Had chemistry. I didn't really see chemistry to be had in this film. So I don't know. You're kind of grasping at straws. It's definitely a film, like I keep saying. But it is, again, free on YouTube. If you'd like to see Land of the Minotaur, I don't know what to say other than that. So another thing I want to say real fast, to comment on the villains before I end this review. So Peter Cushing, how's the acting? Donald Pleasence, Peter Cushing is fine. They are definitely themselves in this film. Peter Cushing, as the villain, he maybe gets, I don't know, man, like 30 lines out in this whole movie, maybe? Oh no. And then the cult themselves, whenever they're about to sacrifice. They put on robes of a certain hate group, is what they look like. And you saw at the beginning of this review what they look like and dress up as. All I have to say, very a choice. Definitely the most confusing movie is my final review. To have mainstream actors, definitely the most confusing movie with mainstream actors I have ever seen. But the moral of the story is that the devil is the source of all religions outside of Christianity, and so the priest Donald Pleasence has to put an end to Satan in this town, which is a whole nother plot point that I didn't even go into. But if you are interested at all to see this film and see how weird it is, like I said, I am not over-exaggerating how the plot just doesn't connect with these scenes. They're all over the place. It, again, is free on YouTube. Free for you to check out. Land of the Minotaur. And I will see you later, guys. What a weird movie. Bye. I just dropped my phone. That's scarier.